Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wacky Wednesday. Welcome to the Crack of Dawn show. We're still currently streaming live in Lenasia South. As you know, we're residing right here now. Yeah. We're living in Lenasia South, baby. And we're currently streaming live on Actonville TV. This is the Crack of Dawn show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to join the conversation and interact with us in studio today, you can do so with using the bottom column where it says live chat. Yeah, you can use that column and interact with us. Or if you want to keep yourself anonymous, hashtag it anonymous, and you can contact us with the WhatsApp line, which you'll find at the bottom right of your screen right there where you're seeing the YouTube right now. Interact with us, as today is a jam-packed show and a full hour of fun as we are going to talk about things that you should never just Google, you know. Everybody says, I remember Samantha Lakraj, and I quote, Google is your friend. That was her favorite thing to say when you ask her a question that she couldn't answer or something she could never ever explain. She's like, Kimera, Google's your friend. Please don't ask me things like that. Shout out to Samantha Lakraj on the show. I see I've been talking about it a lot quite lately, yeah? Alright, so we got a full hour of fun. We've got our lineup is a Wackhead Simpsons prank, as we always make you laugh in the morning, and not forgetting, the unsettling things that you should never Google. Okay, so we'll talk about that throughout the show, as that's the topic of conversation rather. And as always and as usual, we showcase talented people out there. Today we're going to keep it all musically. Yeah. Alright, so join the conversation, interact with us, and at the end of the show, my personal favorite comedian, Auntie Sheila, as well. He keeps me going every day. Alright, so stay exactly where you are, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a full hour of fun. When we come back, we're going to have a nice prank waiting for you straight after this commercial break.
Put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Oh, because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Welcome back to Crackadanas. You are a Crackadana if you're watching this show. And I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and you know we're streaming live in Lenasia South, baby. Yeah. This is Actonville TV, and interact with us in studio today as we're talking about things you should never Google. I think this is a good conversation. Scary, weird, exciting, and educational, if I might add. All right, let's go. Let's just jump into it, as we always do a prank as we open up the show every day. Coming up next, Wackhead Simpsons Senseless Survey.
Hi, I'm Agent 3146. I'm calling you from the Census Bureau. I need to ask you a couple questions for your country, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, may I have your gender, please?
My gender?
Yeah.
I'm a male.
Are zebras just horses that escaped from prison?
No, we don't arrest horses, eh?
Okay, when someone yells, stop, what does your first instinct tell you? That it's hammer time, that you do it in the name of love, or to collaborate and listen?
I'm going to corroborate and listen.
How do you feel that your computer has to stare at your face all day?
It's okay, yeah, I don't mind. I love working with computers.
You know slow cookers?
Slow cookers?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
It's those things that cook things very slowly. Okay. Now, shouldn't their slogan be called, for when you want to be insanely passive-aggressive to meet?
So I didn't get that.
When you start feeling spontaneous, wouldn't it be nice if your bank sent you a message that said, just calm the down?
Yeah, that will be it. But they mustn't say, calm the down. They can say it in a polite way. They must say, please calm down.
Who should win this year's Nobel Pizza Prize?
How many questions am I?
There's just one more, right?
Okay, well, that's...
Okay, who should win this year's Nobel Pizza Prize?
Pizza Prize? I don't even know who's entering.
Can it be argued that condoms prevent SUVs?
Yeah, they do prevent it.
If you stack a bathroom tile up but it keeps falling down, is that what you call erectile dysfunction?
Yes.
What is the capital of bulimia?
Kimera.
Do you think some dyslexic people don't give a this?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you so stupid if you fell in a barrel of boobs you'd be pulled out sucking your thumb?
Oh.
Because there's a thumb in your mouth, so you can't say stupid.
Say again?
Because there's a thumb in your mouth, so you can't say anything. You can't say stupid.
The saying you can't please everyone all the time, does that take the pressure off you during an orgy?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I'm sure that guy's going, what just happened? I don't know what just happened, but something just happened.
Wacky Simpson, everybody, live on Attenville TV. Oh my God! You know what? You know what I don't get about some people when they're being pranked. There's only so much you should allow past the boundaries in life. When you see somebody's taking it too far, ladies and gentlemen, just stop it right there, then and there, because things like this could actually happen. Never mind Wacky Simpson's playing pranks, but you should learn to have boundaries and you should learn to set things straight from the get-go. Alright, that was Wacky Simpson with the Prison Horse Senseless Survey. Hope you guys enjoyed the laugh. We'll come back and talk about things that you should not be Googling, especially when you're alone. Straight after this commercial break.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing. Mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, my crack of dawners. Welcome to the show, Crack of Dawn. We're currently streaming live in the nation's south on Attenville TV. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal. And if you'd like to interact with us in studio today, please do so by commenting at the bottom of the screen, or you could use our WhatsApp line throughout the entire show. All right, so let's get into it. Today we have Taylor Smith all the way from America. He's, should I say, co-hosting with me today and doing the top 5 unsettling things that you should never ever Google while you're alone. All right, so there's a lot of things on the internet that's a whole bunch of, you know? So let's look at a couple of things that you should never ever do or Google. All right. So these search terms may also sound well benign, all right, or should I say benign. But if you're not careful, they can be anything but. So from the terrifying to the profoundly time-consuming, these couple of items that we're about to talk to today will leave you wishing you weren't so curious. All right, let's talk about certain things like you've probably developed fears or phobias due to the fact that you found out more about something. Like I personally, for me, Googling was interesting and it was good for me. Because remember, when I was a kid, growing up, I had a fear of spiders. But they say that the creature spider, is a misunderstood creature. I used to feel freaked out with the fact that they had too many legs, too many eyes, and the fact that they were venomous, guys. They were poisonous. So to me, when I Googled it and I got to understand this creature a little bit more, now I can actually handle being in the same room as a spider. Before I couldn't. So in that sense, Google was good for me. Alright, so we've got a couple of stories coming in, especially in our emails, and I just want to let you guys know the email is down right now, so I'd prefer if you use the WhatsApp line. And thank you guys so much for those of you who interacted with us and shared your stories and your thoughts. It's nice to have interaction from the public. Alright, so looking at if you don't have arachnophobia before reading about this spiders, one photo of this foot spider, a long spider, a lot of people see different sizes of spiders. Some people only get freaked out by big spiders, some people only get freaked out by small spiders. I personally never used to like small spiders due to the fact of how it can crawl in your ear and lay eggs, and then you could possibly be deaf. That was the fear growing up. Anyway. So let's talk about different things, different things that you should never Google. It can end up you to having phobias, fears, and lots of bad thoughts. Coming up at number 5 with Taylor Smith, he's talking about the fatal familial insomnia. Check him out.
Hello out there to all my precious little freaks and creeps. I'm Taylor, your casual crypt keeper, and I've got something for you. As always, welcome back to Top 5 Scary. Now today we're going to be doing a little bit of Googling. Yeah, that's what I do all darn day already, but now I'm sharing this with you. We need to be plenty careful with what we're doing though, okay? We're Googling some of the stuff you'd wish you could put back. This is the top 5 unsettling things that you should never Google while alone. I'm only doing it because I've got you guys with me to feel safe. Make sure you're in incognito mode, by the way, if you're not already. And let me know down below which one of these things is going to be stuck in your head while you're trying to get to sleep. Let's get to it. Number 5, fatal familial insomnia. Just off the top of this list, I will say, we're a scary channel, I get that, but I really wouldn't recommend this video as a whole if you get kind of spooked easy, especially about anything medical or if you've got to sleep later, because this video is going to be full of the kind of stuff to keep you awake and wriggling. Kind of like what we're starting off with today with our first unsettling thing to ruin your evening, fatal familial insomnia. FFI, it's a fatal genetic disorder that affects the brain. Now, forgive me for some science talk I don't fully understand, but FFI passes in an autosomal dominant manner, meaning in English, if you have it, there is a 50% chance that you'll pass it on to your next of kin. Now, the onset of FFI occurs in the middle age. That's in your 40s and 50s, not way back when in the Kingdom of Bavaria. It's characterized by insomnia, as you could have guessed. Have you ever experienced insomnia? You know, tossing and turning, no amount of warm milk or rain sounds in the background able to get you to sleep. It's awful. I had it a lot as a kid. Well, imagine if you were completely, physically unable to sleep at all. You just couldn't sleep. You just laid in bed staring at the ceiling for hours and hours every night. As the insomnia worsens, it's accompanied by hallucinations, delirium, and outright dementia. Death can occur within a few months or years at the onset of symptoms. Now, before you start sweating and calling your doctor, let me reiterate, this is extremely rare. As of 2022, 30 sporadic cases have been detected, and this gene has been detected 70 times. Now, that's 100 instances. There are currently 8 billion people on the planet, so that is less than 0.000012 for 99% of the population. That is, and it's significantly less than 1% is what I am trying to get across. But it's enough that once you learn about it and know that there exists on this planet an incurable disease that stops you from sleeping and then it leaves you with terrifying nighttime hallucinations and delirium, it's easy to see how that might keep you up at night.
Let's talk about Snape wives. Alright, now a subculture of Harry Potter superfans believe that they're married to Professor Severus Snape on the supernatural astral plane. Now it sounds ludicrous, right? But we found ourselves so spellbound that by the time our curiosity was sated, it was almost time to leave our office. Lots of people sharing their interaction, sharing their stories with us at studio. There's a lot of things you should not be Googling, guys. There's a lot of supernatural series and movies out there, and Googling things that are happening in the movie, which is science fiction also. You shouldn't be Googling those things because they are not real, hence it's fiction. It's for entertainment purposes. I mean, look, humans can't fly, right? Let's put it like that. And a lot of kids love Superman. And now if you're gonna Google how to fly as a human being, this is gonna be crazy. You're gonna have to either have mechanical gadgets strapped on your back or go jump into an actual plane to fly. Guys, remember, kids, especially if you're watching the show and you're sitting at home with your parents watching it, remember, human beings can't fly. It's just an example of following Google and trying to Google things that aren't really happening in the world. It's just from a movie or something you enjoyed watching. Remember, these they have special effects. Don't do it. Don't try to find out how to do something you really admire or like. I mean, I personally like Superman, and I'm not going to try to jump off a building because I can't fly, and I know I can't. But it's an awesome power to actually have. I would have loved to fly. But anyway, coming in at number 4, Rat King.
Number 4, Rat Kings. Coming up next is going to be something that's very near and dear to my heart. Rats. Oh, I love rats. I'm sure you could probably guess just by the way I look, the way I act, I seem like I had rats. I did. I used to have a set of 4 little white rats, and I honestly miss them more than anything. They'd snuggle up together and they'd look downright adorable in a little furry clump. I know not everybody likes rats, that's totally fine, but I loved my rodents like they were royalty. Except not literal rat royalty, because if you're familiar with a rat king, then you'd know that there's absolutely nothing royal about that. If you're picturing, when I say rat king, if you're picturing a little rat wearing like a tiny thimble crown and he's sitting on like a little thing they put in the middle of pizzas like a throne and he's holding court to mice and gerbils who look to him for answers. I like your vision. That sounds like a charming movie, but a rat king in practice is a rare and downright bizarre, horrifying phenomena in which many rats get their tails tangled all together, forming a single writhing, squealing mass. Once all the rats start getting stuck together, they lose their individual ability to move, and they start to work together as one horrifying trapped life form. I'm hoping there's some pictures of rat kings in this video. I am so sorry, editors. These things are terrifying. They look like monsters out of the worst dungeons from Elden Ring. They look horrific. Like, looking at this might drive me to madness. There's a reason across many cultures, rat kings exist as a dark omen, and all kinds of myth and superstition follow around in them. So yeah, I like rats. I like them when they're individual. I like when they all sleep in the same bed, but I really like when they have separate consciousnesses and separate bodies. I think most of us should live like that. Rat kings do not happen very often, so if at any point in your life you do see a rat king, it might be a blessing or a curse. I think it all depends on what happens immediately after you find that rat king, but hopefully you'll tell an authority of some kind.
Story coming in from Adrian in Malaysia South. He says, he titles it Pressure Cooker Bombs with Backpacks. He says in 2013, a Suffolk County man Googled pressure cooker bombs. Okay, and so he titled it Pressure Cooker Bombs and Backpacks when he went into Google. This happened on his work computer. And then guess what happened as he Googled it? The police showed up at his house, and the police determined the man was just curious, not even a criminal. But he probably regrets those searches up to this day because it'll stay on his record. Thank you so much for that, Adrian. Coming in at number 3, anesthesia awareness.
Number 3, anesthesia awareness. Let's take a little walk back from talking about rats and let's go right on back to talking about some medical anxiety. Now maybe it's just the casual crypt keeper's voice, but this list I went very medical and very vermin oriented. I tried to think of things that unsettle me. Personally, surgery stresses me out like crazy. I've got no problem with ghouls. I'll let a goblin eat at my table. Snakes and spiders, all things nice. But when it comes to being under a scalpel, I turn green. Seriously, I can't stand it. Hospitals freak me out so much. I'll give you a heads up here. If you're the kind of person who gets really anxious about surgery, maybe you might want to skip this point. But the whole point of this video is to be unsettling, so I do think you can handle it. I believe in you. Anesthesia awareness is a very rare but incredibly scary complication that can occur with general anesthesia. It occurs when a patient is aware of their surroundings and the procedure being performed on them despite them supposing to be unconscious. It's horrific. You see, your body is asleep, but your mind is not. It's awake and aware. So imagine sleep paralysis, but someone is inside your guts rearranging your nerves. This goes without saying, but this is not a pleasant experience since this sounds like the average person's absolute worst nightmare. Anesthesia awareness oftentimes results in long-term mental health disorders, unsurprisingly, such as PTSD. I could not even imagine the intense pain, the helplessness you must feel, the panic. Generally, you're not supposed to be awake when someone's doing surgery on you. Now, again, I've told you that and you might be getting all kind of freaked out, maybe eyeing your calendar because you've got a surgery coming up. But you should know that in all surgeries performed in hospital settings, there is a worldwide less than 1% report of anesthesia awareness. So the odds are extremely low, but even with that, it obviously is a concern for surgeons. No one wants you to wake up while they're doing brain surgery on you. So certain risk factors have been identified, so if you are ever receiving a surgery and you're super worried about it, it's something your healthcare providing team will be aware of, and they'll do their best to make sure that you're very aware of what's going on. But not too aware, not literally aware. They just want you to be aware of what's gonna happen when you're unaware. You follow me? Am I still making sense?
I didn't know how serious this could get, especially with Google. Anyway, another message coming in from Anonymous saying bot fly removal. Now, we've never closed out of a browser tab so quickly as we did when watching a video of a man removing a parasitic flesh-eating bot fly under his skin. There's just certain things you shouldn't Google. Why are people even putting that up on the net? But anyway, it's nice to know as it is a search engine, and you get weird people who want to know what it's like having leeches and bot flies under your skin. Yeah, funny stories. Alright, here's another one coming in. It says red pill, still anonymous. Anonymous says, if you think you're going to get info on the Matrix movies by Googling this term, you're wrong. Okay, let me read that again. If you think you're going to get info on the Matrix movies by Googling this term, you're wrong. Instead, you'll get a glimpse into the men's rights movement. So don't Google the Matrix, guys. Also, critics have called much of this movement misogynistic. So don't Google the Matrix. If you do Google the Matrix, Google Matrix the movie. Then you'll find out about the movie and everything you want to know there. Alright, then we've got mouth larva coming in. Now, if you're searching for pictures of moth larva, which most people want to find, be very careful not to accidentally type the word mouth instead. So instead of pictures of household pests, Yan was actually charged with 3 fraud counts. Federal prosecutors alleged the stock made Yan $120,000 in illicit profits. So yeah, careful what you do and how you do it, you will get caught. Alright, here's another one coming in. It's called Brazilian Girls. Now, Brazilian Girls, this was titled by a Brazilian lady and she's stay anonymous. Okay, so it says, fans of band Brazilian Girls should add more search terms than just the name of the band, unless they want to see a bunch of waxing tutorials and butts. Lots of butts. No, you. That's personal. There's a reason why we wear clothes, people. Really. Okay, coming up next at number 2 with Taylor Smith. He's got walking corpse syndrome.
Number 2, walking corpse syndrome. Alright, let's talk about another horrifying rare medical syndrome that sounds made up. I bet you've never heard about it, but now you're probably going to spend the next couple of years anxiously Googling symptoms just in case to see if you have it. It's called walking corpse syndrome. Now, maybe you're making a little joke that walking corpse syndrome is what you call yourself when you get to the office and the coffee maker's broken. But in actuality, it's way scarier than that. It sounds like something out of a Stephen King book. It's sometimes called Cotard syndrome, possibly because walking corpse syndrome does sound a little terrifying. It's a rare and severe mental illness that causes a person to believe that they are dead, or that they no longer exist, or that they're immortal. Basically, if you have Cotard syndrome, you don't believe you're just a regular old guy. You experience these nihilistic delusions, these irrational beliefs about your existence, your death, your decay. Some claim to have lost their internal organs, blood, or even their soul. Now, this can come alongside a lot of other mental illnesses such as depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. The cause of this syndrome is not fully understood, but it is thought to stem from abnormalities in brain function and structure. Treatment involves medication and psychotherapy, and in severe cases, full hospitalization. Now, like everything else in this video, I am telling you all these things because they're freaky. I'm trying to scare you, but not too much. This is a very rare mental health issue, but it also is one that is treatable. Individuals experiencing symptoms with psychiatric help can significantly improve that prognosis, turn you from a walking corpse to a walking regular old person.
Alright, thanks for that, Taylor Swift. You kind of freak me out every day, so yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for that. Okay, let's talk about Googling bed bugs. Right? For those of you who just joined the show and you're a little late, we're talking about things you should just never Google, right? Now, let's talk about bed bugs. Now, learning the basics of bed bugs in travel is probably a very good idea, right? Now, but if you're looking to avoid stress, maybe not, 5 minutes of exposure to warning signs of bed bugs could actually convince even discerning people that these 6-legged intruders are hiding in their bedding. Now, I've got Exhibit A in front of me, Shem. Now, I can't ask the director to put this up, but within a day of Googling bed bugs, we threw away perfect sheets, perfectly good sheets. And each sheet was actually $45. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And they say they will never get it back. Now remember, guys, when you're Googling about germs or bed bugs, can I just inform you that it's never gonna not be there? There's always bacteria, and just don't forget there is good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And if you go under a microscope and if you could take a piece of your bed or bedding, you'll realize how much of bacteria, germs, things that you can't see with your naked eye. But I just gotta let you know, you gotta accept the fact that you are, firstly, it's nature. You're human. On earth, there's gonna be dirt, there's gonna be dust, there's gonna be grime, there's gonna be things that you cannot see but is there. And you gotta trick your brain into understanding that these germs you can't do anything about it. You have to accept the dirt on the floor. You have to accept dust. I'm not saying be dirty, I'm saying clean your home, but there's certain things you just can't get rid of. There's good bacteria, bad bacteria, and that's always gonna be there. And no matter how much you vacuum your bed, no matter how much you bleach it, no matter how much sanitizer you pour all over it, those germs are gonna come back one way or another. It's just the way of life. And you just gotta wash your hands regularly. Obviously you bath every day, I'm sure you do. And listen guys, these things you just cannot undo or unsee. Now remember, when you're googling germs or bacteria, or if you're looking at bed bugs, normal things are around you. It's nature, it's part of the world, it's part of you. Something you could do. Accept it in your brain if you're gonna go googling about things like this. Coming in at number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but before I end it off with a bang, let's take a quick break. We'll come back straight after this. Welcome back, you Crack of Dawners, and you're currently watching the Crack of Dawn. For those of you who don't know, we're currently streaming live in the nation south on Actonville TV. Well, I'm your host Kimera, Heeralal, and today we're talking about things you just shouldn't Google. Don't Google it. There's some things you just don't be too inquisitive. You know what they say, curiosity kill the cat, so don't do it. You can also change your mindset on certain things in life. Just live life from decently, man. Just don't poke where you shouldn't be. Alright, as we got Taylor Swift standing by to tell you his top number 1 reason why you shouldn't Google things. But before we get to it, let's talk about something called Murder Island, Thailand. I don't know if you heard about this. Don't go Google it now. Wait, just wait. 7 tourists have died on a small resort island of Koh Tao, and in the past 3 years. Please excuse me if I butcher any words here today. So the 7 tourists have died on the small resort island of Koh Tao in the past 3 years under disputed circumstances. Now, a fact that you will learn if you Google the terms above, as with snake wives, and we spent about 2 hours well riveted by the rabbit hole of the story. That's 2 hours we'll never ever get back. But when you actually Google things like that, now it makes you not want to go to Thailand. Thailand is actually a very beautiful place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just remember, anything you search for, it's gonna tell you articles and facts and stories that are backed up on Google, as it is current affairs, and meaning your news. So just be careful when you're searching for a place. Every place is beautiful. Unfortunately, there are incidents that happen anywhere at any time, and it's not the place's fault, if that makes sense. Anyway, as you've all been waiting for, number 1, Taylor Swift's of talking about things you should never Google. Here's number 1.
And number one, cordyceps. Well, we have talked about a number of just horrible, disgusting things in this video, haven't we? We've talked about rats clumping up all together, merging into one horrific beast. We've talked about severe mental illnesses that make you shamble like a corpse. We've talked about never sleeping again. Why don't we finish it off and we talk about some real-life cordyceps zombies and just tick the boxes for all the things that happened in The Last of Us. If you've played the game when it came out in 2013, 2014, 2022, or you watched the excellent HBO adaptation of the original game, then you know that in The Last of Us, the world has fallen after a viral outbreak of a cordyceps fungus hijacks people's bodies, making them part of a larger mycelium acting like zombies only looking for food mindlessly. Now, thankfully for us, as of the recording of this video, there's no such thing as a bloater or a clicker, so Joel can rest easy knowing that. But the science of The Last of Us is actually based in reality. There is a type of insect pathogenic fungus that is commonly found in tropical forest ecosystems, and this fungus can infect an ant, and well, there's not really an easy way to say this, but it kind of turns the ant into a zombie just like the monsters in The Last of Us. Now, these ants don't start clicking and shambling around with their arms drawn, eating the brains of other ants, but it is being controlled and manipulated by a mushroom fungus inside its brain that has turned its body into a meat puppet. And if that doesn't make your stomach sick knowing that that's something that can happen in nature, what will? The ant will leave their nest and trails and head for the jungle floor as it's a better place for fungus to grow. From there, the ant will bite and attach to a leaf, and the fungus will start to spread outwardly from the ant, killing the host in the process, but beginning to find a new host. Kind of like apartment shopping. Now, if you Google images of cordyceps ants, they are really unnerving. Seeing tendrils and parasites spreading out of a body, they look like horrifying designs from comic books and video games, but it's real life, baby. Nature is always more terrifying than science fiction. I mean, where do you think science fiction writers are getting all those ideas from? It's all the horrific things that are happening out there. That's all she wrote for this one, my ghouls and goblins. Thanks for going on this Google journey with me. I couldn't have done it alone. Creep on creeping on, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Take it easy.
Creep on, creeping on with Taylor Smith, which you'll always catch her live on the Crack of Dawn show on Atten Bull TV. Yeah. Alright, so we're still talking about things you should never Google, right? Interact with us in studio today, as I'd like to hear from you. What did you Google that freaked you out so much that now you've developed a phobia or a fear or something that you just don't like anymore? Let's put it like that. Alright, well, talking about things you should never Google, look at this one. Okay, blue waffle. Excuse me guys, sorry. Okay, so in 2010, a hoax called the blue waffle disease hit the internet with graphic photoshopped images of infected female genitalia. Okay, and in 2013, a constituent reached out to New Jersey City in Councilwoman Kathy McBride about the so-called epidemic. McBride was alarmed, not realizing that the date was actually the 1st of April when this was done. All right, here's a bit of a rudish one, but like Samantha Bee's show, she titled it "I Love Dick." Very dangerous, very vulgar. Be careful with these words, guys. Now, like Samantha Bee's show, the phrase that makes up the show title, "I Love Dick," is difficult to Google with graphic consequences. Now, we recommend adding to that search where, you know, "I love dick," please make sure you type Amazon Prime streaming video before you type those words. I mean, we all know what's gonna happen if you put the word dick there, right? You're gonna get pornography, you're gonna get ugly, dirty sites. Well, uncultured sites, can I call it that? It's better to address it as that. I hate being so judgmental. I know you're sitting there like, oh my god, did you just say dick? Yes, I did. People Google a lot of funny things out there. Make sure whatever words you are using in your search engine, be very specific as to what you're typing or using. Alright, let's talk about full frontal. Now, when I hear the words full frontal, I'm not going to lie to you, I know a team of guys that are strippers, and they call themselves a full frontal. So, like I said, or like we saying, they're teaching you today, be careful how you Google things. Put in the search engine what exactly you're looking for and then the name of it. Yeah? Alright, so looking at Samantha Bee again. Okay, now Samantha Bee's late night comedy series has been a very serious success, I must say. But the show still doesn't dominate Google search results. as you noticed. Now, know what does now, okay? Okay, we'll give you one guess. If you choose to Google this, we recommend you safe search. You put your safe search button and you turn it on. I don't know if you have that on your, every device has it, so please put the safe search on. Yeah, you won't run into trouble or porn. Alright, last but not least, things people have found in fast foods. Don't Google it, man. You know you're gonna find rubbish and yucky things that are gonna turn you off, and you're probably never gonna eat food there again. So don't Google that. Okay, things people have found in fast food. Let's talk about that quickly. Now, people claim to find everything from hardware parts to whole chicken heads in their fast food. I mean, if you read enough about these accounts, your options of guilt-free dining will be severely limited, like I mentioned, and if you still have an appetite after all of that. Remember, I have personally found hair in my food, cockroach in my food, fly in my food, and a nail in my food. Don't Google that. Why would you want to do that to yourself? These mishaps happen, and remember, fast food places, it's a business though. You don't know what happens behind that kitchen or behind that window when you're taking your drive-through food. Yeah, let's keep it like that. There's just some things you should never Google. When we come back, we're going to have lots of music entertainment for you guys to keep your vibes up on this Wacky Wednesday. Straight after this.
It's right for...
Becky, don't lose your cool. Think of the quarter pounder. It will taste like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, so make it a day, the quarter pound away. Da 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 da.
Welcome back, you crack of dawners. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you just joined us, you're all a little late as we stream live every morning. If there's no load shedding in Indonesia South, we stream at 9 o'clock. Alright, for those of you who just joined us, you are watching the Crack of Dawn show on Actonville TV, and I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, guys. Alright, so as promised, we're going to keep you well entertained with some great music. We got Cecilia Kroll with, well, you know Cecilia Kroll, the original of My Life Is Going On, the theme song of, Money Heist. Sorry, I had to ask my director, I forgot. Okay, lots of work going on in the studio today. Cecilia Kroll's My Life Is Going On, theme song of Money Heist, baby. But today it's being covered by Crystal Emiliani from Italy. Oh, I love this chick. Check her out.
If I stay with you, if I'm choosing wrong, I don't care at all. If I'm losing now, but I'm winning late, that's all I want. try to make anything else give away your feel. I don't care at all. I am lost. I don't care at all. I don't have it all. I am lost. I don't care at all. Lost my time, my life is going on.
Very sexy video by Crystal Emiliani from Italy. Very well done, honey. You have carried the theme very well of Money Heist, and very beautiful delivery of My Life is Going On. But I'm sure Cecilia Grill is very proud of you, as she is the original. So very well done there, and thank you guys again for interacting with us in studio today, sharing your content with us. So very big thank you to Crystal from Italy. Thank you, girl. Oh, beautiful video. I can see you took a lot of time. Oh, the choreography was brilliant. Keeping you well entertained with great music coming up next. Okay. Everybody knows Bob Marley. Yeah, man. Well, for those of you who want to see my Bob Marley video, please check out my TikTok. You can find me at Kimera Heeralal 1. Yeah. Okay, cool. Coming up next, Bob Marley's Stand Up, covered by Dylan Galvin from the United States of America, hitting it acoustic style, baby.
I got you on my mind. Now you are here, baby, it's all clear to see what we could do, baby, just me and you. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up, come on, baby. Fire, then I'll satisfy your heart's desire. I said stir it up every minute. All you got to do is keep it in it. Come on and stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Come on, baby. Baby, quench me when I'm thirsty. Go on, cool me down when I'm hot. Your recipe is oh so tasty. When you stir it, show your pot. So stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Come on, baby. Come on and stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Come on, baby.
What a way to start your Wednesday morning with the Bob Marley Stirred Up. Today it was covered by Dylan Galvin from the United States of America. Shout out to you, honey. That acoustic version was brilliantly done. I'd like to give a very good morning and shout out to Basil Wesley James who's watching the show. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the music. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as we're keeping you well entertained and talking about things you should never ever Google. Alright, we got the anonymous coming in saying belly button bugs. Your belly has a bug. Okay, I didn't know that because I have a belly ring. So this is a problem. Okay, let's see. I'm conducting the show, guys. Let's talk about this. Okay, so your belly button harbors what scientists have described as a rainforest of bacteria. I knew I shouldn't have done this one. Anyway, this Google search term will actually yield pictures of insect bites and recently pierced infected navels. Okay, like I said before earlier in the show, don't Google things you know is going to traumatize you because there's bacteria and there's germs everywhere. It's just a matter of you balancing your life and balancing the things in your home and taking care of everything responsibly. Yeah, so no matter what you do, there's always going to be that bacteria story with good and bad bacteria. So just don't Google these things because you're going to find things that traumatize you. We got Basil Wesley James coming in saying, good morning. Good morning, Basil Wesley James. If you are elder than me, good morning, Uncle Basil. Alright, we're still talking about things you should never ever Google, man. You're just going to torture yourself, traumatize your brain, and create phobias and fears that you shouldn't have. Okay? Alright. Another one coming in. Oh, Stacy comes in on our WhatsApp line saying everything Facebook knows about you. Hey. Let me just tell you a quick story before I share this one. Facebook is very dangerous, guys. It can affect your professional life, just so you know. So here's a quick one. When I was applying for a job in Supersport, very big company, big profile, and you should be careful what you post on your social media. Why? Let's talk about Facebook alone. Okay, so congratulations to me, I got the job that I was applying for there, yes. What happened was, when we were sitting with the team, you know, you get your supervisor, you get your boss, you get different people that you have to report to every day. Now, being in production and everything, I was actually called into a meeting where I was asked by my boss, my big bosses actually, to pull down either I had to pull down my entire Facebook account, or I had to sit and edit it with my manager by my side. How embarrassing, guys, because if you're a growing youngster, and I was in my early 20s, guys, so let's be fair. I was partying, I drank alcohol. I'll be honest, you know, I was a very, very, well, a normal, decent human being, but a very outgoing human being. And sitting with my seniors, they asked me to please pull down certain photographs because it actually damages the brand of the company. Now, when you work anywhere for that matter, and then wherever my big brands, leave Supersport out of this, wherever you might be or work or wherever you, well, basically your profile and your personal life should be kept personal. There's certain things you shouldn't do, guys. Don't post on, let's leave Facebook, all social media platforms. Don't post anything that is personal or things that you're giving to people to use against you later in life. If you come across as a party animal and you get the job of your dreams and they do a background check on you, remember when you start a job there's a probation period as well, so they need to know who is actually carrying their brand and who's working for them. And if you come across as someone who's unreliable or bad for business, they'll actually fire you. Yeah? Alright. So speaking from experience, do not post your personal life on social media. It's also dealing with our topic today. Things you should never Google. Just be careful how you post as well. Good lesson in life. Lots of girls out there have no way of finding a decent man, or should I say boyfriend or husband, due to the fact that they posted very, very uncultured pictures of themselves. Alright, coming up next, as we're talking about great music, great entertainment, and you as the public have sent it to us. Yes! Coming up next, everybody knows The Weeknd, right? Now, everybody knows their song, Take My Breath. Today, it's been covered by Masala from Netherlands. Check it out.
I saw the fire in your eyes. I saw the fire when I look into your eyes. You tell me things you wanna try. Temptation is the devil in disguise. You risk it all to feel alive. You're offering yourself to me like sacrifice. You said you do this all the time. Tell me you love me if I bring you to the light. It's like a dream, what he feels with me. He loves to be on the edge. His fantasy is okay with me. Then suddenly, baby says, take my breath away and make it last forever, babe. Do it now and ever, baby. Take my breath away. Nobody does it better, babe. Bring me closer, want me to hold on to you tight. You pull me closer, feel the heat between your thighs. You're way too young to end your life. Boy, I don't wanna be the one who pays the price. It's like a dream, what he feels with me. He loves to be on the edge. His fantasy is okay with me. Then suddenly, baby says, take my breath.
Welcome back, my crack of daughters! Alright, it's that time of the show, and towards the end of the crack, Sheila, 50 Shades of Grey.
Darlings, so today I got a very to put forward, and my darling maid, so many people have always asked me about Uncle and I, and they always says, what keeps the flame burning, darlings? What keeps the spice going on like that in your relationship? And darlings, to tell you the truth, I always say Uncle finds everything in my cookie jar. One sweet you can find in my cookie jar. And darlings, Uncle and I, darlings, we have been through thick and thin together, but I never left that man's pants. I was always inside attacking what's important to us, And darling, the important things is what keeps the relationship, the flame burning is my cookie jar. I don't need purple pack and all for my man. I like that flame just by looking at him. Darlings, other day I went to a bookshop. Oh, you know what I found? Hey, I found that book called 50 Shades of Grey. Amma, one, things are red there. I told Uncle, I said, Uncle, come here. I'm telling you, in Zulu, they say, Mas Shayamina. I'm saying, Shayamina. I'm telling Uncle, whack me, man, whack me, spank me. Uncle is saying, what you gone, man, Sheila? Hey, but that's how you must excite the man. And another thing, darling, I saw on DSTV, I put it on. Magic Mike, yum. You know, darlings, the way that Mike, man, I couldn't even keep it in my bra, darlings. The way he's like, come on and let's do it. Ride it, my pony. I'm telling Uncle, come here, ride my pony. Another thing, girls, one thing, men's, they like motivation. So, you know, when you're in the bedroom, don't feel shy. Scream. You know, when you make noise, you make, pops. Pops. Yama, pops. Uncle, you go faster. You like motivation. And lastly, girls, no matter what your man is, you must, darlings, you must. You know, men like motivation. When he opens his pants, you must tell him, darling, bring your anaconda.
Auntie Shana made me shy. I'm gonna go now. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.